Hi everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that for the people who jumped on first. I'm afraid I don't know what happened there. I think I turned my camera around and I thought it should be okay, it should turn around with you, but when I seen it on Facebook it was all kind of skewed with. So thanks for anybody who jumped on, but I'm back again, so hopefully you can see me okay and I'm not kind of turning that way. So there's a couple of people come on just now, so if you're on just now, just give me a shout out just to say hi and where you're from, and then we'll get started. What I'm going to speak about today is I'm going to do a brand new series called 30 Days of Change, and it's going to be focusing on one topic every day or every few days, depending on how this goes. Hey there Christy, how you doing? So as I say, I'm going to be focusing on one different topic every day to help you change your life in whatever way you want. Hi there Gladys, Judy, Jill, he's on from Colorado. Good morning from Miami. Julissa, Nazira, Kelly, Kimberly, have I said that right? Kimberly from Nevada. Brenda, Mirel, Alicia, Tammy, Sonia. Hi, welcome everybody. Mark Benedict. Hi there, how you doing? Crystal Boyce, Debbie. So I'll just say a few shout outs before I get started. And Christy from California. Che Huai. Andrea, how you doing? Judith Boggio, how you doing? Christy Newbury from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Carlos, how you doing, buddy, in New York? Mad V, KP Morella. Hi there, Helen. Oh, Helen, how you doing? Helen's a big kind of supporter of mine. Really appreciate that, Helen. Okay, so what we're going to speak about today, this is going to be a brand new series called 30 Days of Change. And what I'd like to talk about today is focusing on the good stuff in your life. Because what's happening with most people today, and I see it all over the place, it's in the workplace, it's in the media, it's in your everyday life, is we tend to focus on the bad stuff in our life. And even when we talk about in the workplace, we tend to focus on what we can't do rather than what we can do. And it'd be great if you could change your perspective on that and just focus on the good stuff. So I'm not saying forget about the bad stuff, because there's bad stuff kind of all over the place, but I'm just saying focus on your strengths rather than your weaknesses. Because we're told in the workplaces, we've been kind of indoctrinated just to think about focusing on the things we can't do rather than the things we can do. So I think that's a big mistake in the workplace, and I've been in the workplace for a long time before I gave up in September 2013 and started my own business. But what we tend to focus on is our weaknesses and say, oh, you need to work on your weaknesses. You need to fix that weakness and make it stronger. But why not turn it all around and make the strong parts of us even stronger? So if you've got a strength, why would you not try and build up that strength and become a master of that strength as well? That's what they tend to do in the workplace, which I think is a big failing on kind of managers' parts and the workforce in general. So if you can turn that around and try and focus on the good things in your life rather than focusing on the bad things, because we do that in our own lives as well, not just the workplace, but in our own lives. They say, okay, I've got this wrong with me, I can't do that, I've not got that ability to do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. But if you focus on what you can do to change your life, rather than focusing on what you can't do, then it takes on a whole new meaning in your life. So you're not always thinking about what you can't do. You're not always thinking about your limiting beliefs. You're not always thinking about the abilities that you can do, rather than you can focus on something that you can do. And if you focus more and more and more on the things you can do in life, then you'll tend to find what happens is the little voices that told you that you're focusing on the bad things in life and the things that you can't do in life, they kind of dissipate, they start to disappear. And pretty soon, if you keep at it and you keep thinking about it and keep focusing on the good stuff, pretty soon what happens is you pretty much believe you can do anything, that anything is possible. Now that takes a while to get there, of course it does. It does take a while to get there, and I'm not saying this kind of change happens overnight, but if you focus more and more on your strengths rather than your weaknesses, that's when life begins to change. And I see this in the media as well. What the media does, and it's preposterous, it's absolutely unbelievable what they do, and they're kind of brainwashing everybody in the media as well, is they focus on the bad news. So for every bad news story out there, there's about 10,000 or even 100,000 good stories. So it's disproportionately biased towards bad news. And why is that? Because bad news sells. People like to read about the bad news. They don't want to hear about that kitty that got stuck up the tree and was finally rescued, or they don't want to hear. They want to hear about. They want to hear about the kind of plane crashes, and that makes headline news. Imagine what would happen. I heard this the other day at an event. Imagine what would happen if, for every single plane that landed, kind of on time with no problems at all, if they interviewed every single person coming off the plane saying, how's that flight for you? It was a good flight, it landed on time and it came in on time, there's no kind of problems at all. Imagine if they'd done that instead of just focusing on the plane crashes that happened in life. So that would be another perspective. It would just be amazing. So for every plane crash there's about 10,000 planes that have taken off, they've landed, and there's been no problems whatsoever. So we tend to focus on the bad stuff because bad news sells, and that's why the media kind of sell it, and that's why people read it, because it's kind of out of the ordinary. But we tend to, if we focus on the good news, if we focus on the stuff that was going right in life, then wouldn't that be a better place to be in? Rather than reading the media, thinking the world is a shitty, shitty place, and you think it's a dangerous place to be in the world because of all this media stuff you're reading, then we're getting brainwashed to think the world is a bad place. When in actual fact, there's only a few bad people in the world just now that are making the world look like a bad place because the media are feeding that into our minds every single day. So in your personal life, something I advocate that I do, if I'm being honest, I've not read a newspaper in the last 15 years. Not read one newspaper in the last 15 years. I read maybe the financial section, or I read the sports section of a newspaper, but I don't buy any newspapers. If they're lying around, I'll turn straight to the sports section or turn straight to the financial section. Or if it's a different type of magazine, if it's a business magazine or something like that, I'll read those. But I've never bought a newspaper, and I advocate people to cut out the news in your life altogether. And when I've said that before in speeches and talks and stuff like that, people say, what? You can't give up the news, you can't give up the media. Why would you do that? You don't know what's happening in the world. Well, let me ask you a question. Why do you need to know what's happening in the world? Why do you need to know? Apart from the big things, obviously, they're going to affect you directly. But most news in the world does not affect us directly. So why would you want to read all that bad stuff that's going on in the world? Why would anybody want to read that and feed your mind and feed the craze that's going around just now that the world is a bad place? Because the world is such a beautiful place, and there's beautiful people in the world, and I'm not saying everybody's like that, and I'm not saying cut out the bad news. I'm not saying just be a positive thinker. It's not about that at all. It's about focusing more on the positive things that are happening in life rather than focusing on the negative stuff that's happening in life. Because once you start focusing on the positive stuff in life, you don't forget about all the bad stuff that's going on. You know it's there, but you don't need to be reminded every single minute of the day. You don't, because you still know what's happening. And that's what we as people are doing. That's what we're feeding that. We're kind of buying newspapers and we're making it happen even more. Because these newspaper owners and the media think, okay, bad news sells because everybody's buying our newspaper. And that's what's happening. They're feeding us more and more bad news because of that. In my local paper, for example, I know what's happening in my local area. I know there's a few bad people out there. But my local paper focuses on the few bad people and disregards altogether the good that is going on in life. And everything makes front page news if it's bad. Why would we do that to ourselves? So I would advocate cutting out news for 2 weeks. Don't listen to the radio news. Don't watch on TV. Don't read a newspaper. Don't pick it up and see what happens. See the difference it can make in your life if you do that. So it's about focusing on the good stuff. And that's also about what you're feeding your mind. What you feed your mind comes out of your mouth, or comes out through your actions, comes out through your beliefs, comes out through your thoughts. If you're constantly fed that the world is a bad place because of the media, because of the press, because of the news, everything else, guess what? You're going to start thinking all these kind of bad thoughts, and then you're going to start having these kind of negative beliefs about the world and about yourself in general. So I would advocate cutting out the news for 2 weeks. And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off with that. They're going to say, no, you shouldn't do that. I need to know what's happening in the world. You don't. Simple as that. You don't need to know what's happening in the world. And if it's something major, you'll get to know about it through your friends. And they'll give you a digested part, or they'll give you a digestion of what's going on in the world. So it'll be through their perspective. So don't read the news. Just try it for 2 weeks and let me know how it goes. So that was that part about kind of cutting out news and stuff like that. So I'm just going to read a few of the comments just now. Robin Flanders Sanderson says, I agree. Thanks for that, Robin. And you are correct. Jennifer says you are correct about positive thoughts. Bad is just lesson for learning, that's all. Yep. Alison Crook, yes, the world is amazing. I totally agree in your perspective on life. Thanks, Alison. I don't follow the news. It is very liberating, Rodolfo. Just to not be tied to the news, not be tied to the media, is very liberating in your life if you do it. Honestly, just try it for a couple of weeks and see how you get on. And just let me know, just report back if you do it for a couple of weeks. I'll put another post up. But I'm going to be doing more of these videos. As I said, it's going to be 30 days of change and we'll focus on one topic. But so that was it about the news. That's in your kind of general life. But your own personal life, if you start to focus on what's good about yourself, then we can change the way we live our lives as well. And that's kind of my mission in life. My mission is to help you to change your beliefs about yourself, to change the way you think about yourself, and to change the way you think about the world in general. Not to come to my terms or my view of life. There's nothing to do with that. It's not me trying to change your mind about anything. I would just love to help you change the beliefs you have about yourself in order to live a better life. If you can change just one belief about yourself in life, and depending on what it is, it doesn't matter. If you can change one belief that's kind of holding you back, you can literally change your whole life. And I mean literally change your whole life. And I'm going to share a story with you just now. And by the way, these kind of videos are not scripted in any way. I've not planned them out. I've just got the topic kind of out and I'm just going to see what happens. I'm just going to kind of go with the flow, get over that kind of fear of having to know everything just before I go live or anything like that. So I'm just going to go with the flow. But I want to share with you a story, and it's probably going to be a story that a lot of people relate to as well. When I was younger in my, what we call in the UK, primary school days, I would imagine in US and Australia and Canada we call it elementary school, and that's from the ages of maybe 5 to 11 years old. I was kind of, well, how can I say it? They didn't think I was very intelligent when I was at school. So from the age of 5 and up, they thought I had a learning development. They thought I had a learning disability. And it kind of progressively got worse from the ages of 5 up to about 7. And they couldn't quite understand. They just thought I had to go to a special school for whatever reason, just because I wasn't learning in class. But what they discovered, or what my mum and dad discovered after a couple of years, I had a hearing problem at the time. They didn't know it at the time, they didn't know it, but it was only as I was gradually getting worse that they discovered I had a hearing problem and I couldn't hear the teachers in the classroom. So if I was sitting up at the back of the class, I couldn't hear what the teachers were saying, and if the teacher asked me a question, I couldn't really hear what she was saying to answer her. And what I'd done, automatically, I didn't do it consciously, but I started to teach myself how to lip read. And that's how I got by. And I'd done this unconsciously. It wasn't a conscious thing, I just did it unconsciously. But if the teacher had her back turned to me and she was talking or writing on the blackboard or something, and I say she because it was mostly predominantly women, female teachers that I had at the time. When she turned her back, I couldn't hear, so if she asked me a question, so they thought I had a learning disability and they were going to put me in a special school. But once they found out that I had a hearing problem, I got grommets, what's called grommets put in my ear. They discovered I had something called glue ear. And once I got these grommets put in my ear, I could hear perfectly fine. And I remember the first day I came out of the hospital after getting the grommets put in, I heard a plane going overhead and the noise was absolutely deafening. It was amazing to be able to kind of hear again. It was just amazing. But what happened is I went back to school and I could hear the teacher perfectly fine, and I got on with work and everything was okay. So they didn't send me to a kind of special school or anything like that. But what I heard when I was younger is I wasn't intelligent. It was on the report cards. It was on when I went up to parents' night as well. The teacher said there was obviously something wrong. I had a learning disability. And I just believed for years that I wasn't intelligent because I'd been told from when I was a young child that I wasn't intelligent. I had a learning disability. And this carried on through with me up until I was about 13. I was in high school. And I always kind of revered really intelligent people. But when I was in high school and I was maybe 14 or 15 years old, I kind of sat a few exams and I passed them. And it suddenly occurred to me, although I had this belief that I wasn't intelligent, you cannot not be intelligent if you're passing exams, if you're passing maths exams, if you're doing geography exams and you're passing, and English and all that stuff. And it suddenly flipped on its head, and I realised at that moment that you could change your beliefs. And that was a profound moment, and I can't remember exactly what, I must have been 14 or 15 when I came to that realisation. And when I came to that realisation, I thought, oh my God, what other beliefs have I got inside my head that I could change to change my life? Because when I started turning around to believe that I was intelligent, then that's when everything changed for me. As soon as I started to tell myself that I was intelligent, I passed all these exams, I loved reading, I was curious, I was naturally curious, I wanted to know everything about everything, then I realised that I was intelligent. And I decided then and said, okay, if I am intelligent, I should be intelligent enough to go to university. And one of my goals in life from the ages of 15 was to be the first person in my family to go to university. And I did. I went to university, studied psychology, got the psychology degree, and that was validation enough for me. I knew I was intelligent anyway, but it was validation enough for me to prove I was intelligent. Whatever intelligence means in this world, intelligence means different things to different people. But from an academic point of view, I was kind of deemed as intelligent, and because I passed exams and stuff like that. But that was all because of the change of a belief I had. And it was a belief I'd held that wasn't intelligent from when I was very, very young. And you have no doubt got beliefs that have been passed down to you from the ages of, I don't know, from when you were born right up until now. Our parents pass their beliefs down, our teachers, our peers, the media, and everybody else. So what you've got to ask yourself is, what beliefs do you hold about yourself that may be holding you back that aren't true? Because if you think about it, not a lot of people ask themselves what beliefs they hold in life. Now you could say, obviously, the major things I believe in religion and stuff like that. Everybody knows what religion, their own religious beliefs and their political beliefs. But if you talk about beliefs about themselves, if I asked you just now, what beliefs do you hold about yourself just now? It might be a difficult question to answer. It might be really difficult to answer that question because we never really think about the beliefs we hold. But if we did think about it and we thought about the beliefs that are holding us back in life, imagine if we could change just one of those beliefs. Just one belief that is holding you back in life. Imagine if you could change that. How your life would be so much different if you could do that. And you focused on the good things that you have in life, or the good things about yourself in life, rather than focusing on the bad things, and rather than focusing on your limiting beliefs or the beliefs that are holding you back. Focus on the beliefs that are moving you forward. The beliefs that do drive you forward towards your goals in life. The beliefs that give you the motivation. The beliefs that push you towards the goals to have a better life for yourself. Because when I'm doing business coaching, what people tend to focus on, the things that are holding them back. They don't tend to focus on the things that are driving them forward. And that's what we should be doing more of life, more in life. And that's what the news should be doing as well. Focus on the good things in life that are making people happier in life, rather than all this news is making us depressed. And no wonder there's so much depression in the world as well, because the media is unbelievable. I just don't understand well, I do understand it. It's to sell more newspapers, and it's crazy. And we're perpetuating that by buying the bloody newspapers in the first place. But your beliefs that you hold about yourself, ask yourself today, not right now, but ask yourself today, what beliefs have you got in your life just now that might be holding you back? And what can you do to change it? And you can install new beliefs in your life. Or you could turn around the beliefs or the beliefs that are holding you back in life as well. You can turn that around. And that's one of the greatest discoveries that I think in psychology. If you're psychology hacking, one of the greatest discoveries about kind of psychology hacking is the fact that you can change any belief that you have, or the fact that you can install a new belief into your own mind. And if you start to believe in yourself, if you start to believe in the people around you, if you start to believe in the world around you as well, oh my God, things really just start to change. Something magical happens when you do that. And that's what I'd love to help you understand. Not necessarily to get you to my way of thinking, but just to help you understand. If it was just one thing, just to help you understand that you have the power to change the beliefs you have about yourself. And if you have the power to change your beliefs about yourself, you have the power to literally change your life. So that was the message for today. I hope it comes across well-intentioned. I hope it comes across as really a positive message to say that you can change your life if you can change your beliefs about yourself. And as I said, if you change your beliefs, you change your thoughts, you change your actions in life, and you just change everything about you. And you also change your energy about you. When you've got a belief, a deep-held belief about yourself, then your energy changes. You can feel people's energy around you. You probably feel my energy. You can probably feel my passion that I've got for people, the passion I've got for my topic as well. That's because I believe in the topic I'm talking about. If I was to talk about something different, you wouldn't feel that same energy. You wouldn't feel that same passion. You wouldn't see it in my face. You wouldn't see it in my eyes. My eyes light up. But when you change your beliefs about yourself, your whole body changes. Your whole energy system changes. And that's when good things really start to happen. Now, there's going to be shit things happening in life. Of course there is. But if you believe in yourself enough, you can pick yourself up and keep carrying on. So that's my message for today in this series, 30 Days of Change. So I'm going to try to keep the videos to about half an hour per video. And just to see how it goes. If you like it, then I'll do more. If you don't like it, then I'll just stop doing them. So you can tell me if you don't like it, say this is shite, I don't want to do it anymore. Or this is really good stuff, I want you to keep doing the videos. That'll be fantastic. And just share the video as well. If you're on just now, you can share this just now as well, just to let your friends see. Or you can tweet it out, whatever you want to do. So do that as well. But I'm going to be coming on every day or every second day. I don't want you to get you too tired of my face and it's that Stephen Aitchison guy again. But I want you to get excited and say, oh, Stephen Aitchison, I want to hear what he has to say today. It would be great if you could do that. So just share this and kind of share it on Twitter and anywhere else you want to share on. But I'd like to open this up just now for the last few minutes, just to a couple of questions and for a couple of shout outs as well. I don't want to be all me talking, I want to interact with you as well. Billy Joel, thanks, keep doing them, Billy. Thanks for that, Billy. Don't Stop Stephen, Danny, thanks for that. Lourdes, Avalos Lopez, please continue, thank you so much. Mary Sardoni, thank you so much. These are going really, really fast, I'm trying hard to read them. Nikki Anthos, thanks. Sue Ling, thank you. As well with my soul, Elvie. Sybil, bless you, thank you. Sybil, thanks for that. Boothiena, have I said that right? Love it, thanks. Okay, so does anybody, how do you keep your belief alive? Jason Midgley from Australia, how do you keep your belief alive? To keep a belief alive, say for example you want to believe, we'll just use that example, say for example you want to believe that you are intelligent. What you do to keep that alive is you find evidence for it all the time, and I'm talking about small pieces of evidence. So the belief that you're intelligent, if you're reading a book, intelligent people read books, so that's a small piece of evidence. If you're curious about stuff, that's a small piece of evidence to prove that you're intelligent. If you pass an exam, if you pass your driving exam, if you pass exams at school, in college, in university, wherever you're going, that's another bigger piece of evidence, but it's still evidence. And you build all this evidence up, and pretty much what happens, Jason, is this one belief, and we're using the intelligence example here, but it becomes a rock solid belief because you've built up all this evidence from the past and from things that are happening just now. It becomes a rock solid belief, and it's very hard to break down. Just like negative beliefs are hard to break down because you built up all this evidence unconsciously to make it a rock solid belief. That's how negative beliefs are formed as well. It's a negative thinking pattern and negative patterning about it. So you build up these negative beliefs about yourself by looking at the evidence from the past. But what we do is we tend to focus on just the negative stuff and filter out the good stuff. So now what we have to do is filter out the bad stuff and focus on the good stuff to make it a positive belief. So I hope that helps, Jason. Jerry Hamilton, great way to wake up. Oh, brilliant, Jerry. Thanks for that. Karen Hall, looking forward to more. Love your message. Thanks for that, Vivian. Okay, I think... Oh, we're still coming through it. Tracy, I have a problem trying to lose weight. What would you suggest I put my mind on to succeed? Tracy, a lot of people have this problem just now. If you want to lose weight, focus on what is, and this is a big topic. There's thousands of programs out there to tell you how to do that. But if you think about it as a mindset, it's a mindset. So when you go to take a biscuit, say in the past, in my life, what I do when I'm eating biscuits, I don't just have one biscuit to dunk in my coffee. I have a cup of coffee every morning. Well, I'll have about 6 or 7 cups of coffee, which is not good for you, but I love my coffee and it keeps me going. And when I was going to have a biscuit in the past, what I would do is I would take 10 biscuits, dunk them in the coffee and eat them like a packet of crisps or something like that. But now when I go to take a biscuit, I'm just saying, I say to myself, I focus on what it's not going to give me. That biscuit is not going to give me health. That biscuit is not going to help me keep the weight I want to stay at. That biscuit is not good for me health-wise because I'm going to be drained. If I eat 10 biscuits at a time, of course I'm going to be drained because it's not good for you. So if you can focus on the things that the food is not going to give you, and then if you start to think about your health-wise as well, you change your beliefs about your health, you change your beliefs about the good foods in life, you change your beliefs about going to the gym, you change your beliefs about going out for a walk. And that's all it takes sometimes, just going out for a walk, 15 minutes a day. But if you focus on the good aspects of that rather than saying, oh, it's raining outside, or I can't be bothered, or I have to get changed in the morning to go out for a walk. But if you focus on the good stuff, you say, I'm going to feel healthy, it's going to give me energy all day, it's going to make me feel great throughout the day if I go 15 minutes walk every morning. So if you focus, again, it's about focusing on the good stuff rather than focusing on the bad aspects of it. So change your perspective about how you look at food, how you look at exercise, and that's it. That's all you need to do to lose weight. Now, is that going to be easy? No, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a wee bit of time to get over that feeling or to get over the negative patterns that you built up in your mind about exercise, about the healthy foods and stuff like that. But pretty soon, once you've eaten enough healthy foods, you just won't notice it, because healthy foods, you just feel they're healthy all the time, and you've programmed yourself to believe they're really healthy and it's going to keep you maintain this beautiful body that you've got, and that's what you want to focus on. So I hope that helps, Tracy. It's a big topic, so I'm not going to be able to answer it with the space of a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes. Hi Katrina, thanks for that. Kitty Lenz, as our parents helped us control ourselves, we have to step outside ourselves. Oh, I've missed that. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to answer some questions just before I go just now. Elvis Park, please mention my name. That's you mentioned, Elvis. Elvis has now left about no, he's still here. Jeremiah, okay. Roxanne, can I clone you? No, maybe you can, you might be able to do in the future. Al Triantos, that's a journey, Tracy. Yep, you're right, exactly. Okay, the questions are coming thick and fast just now, or all the comments are coming thick and fast, so it's going to be difficult. Elvis Park, I really love all your videos, thanks for that. I feel I'm better, I'll get ticked off, then going, do that person knock me down, that my head takes over, I'll get a pity party. Right. Right, this is really difficult to answer questions because all the comments are coming quick and fast. Keep it going. Okay, I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Anybody got any questions about beliefs, about how you change your thinking, how you change kind of an aspect of your life, and which is really all to do with your beliefs, by the way. Tracy, looking forward to more. Hello, Steve, we need awareness. I don't know about that. Stephanie Morrison, your inspiration will never stop. Thanks for that, Stephanie. Hi, Stephen, thank you. You inspire me. Kyle May. Rennie Timlock, hello. Where are you from? Scotland. Mary, I'm from just outside Glasgow in Scotland. So yes, I'm very much Scottish. I don't know why I said that because I'm Scottish anyway. I don't know why I put on a Scottish accent when I'm Scottish. Right, Kelly Brooks, your quotes are great, motivation on a daily basis. Fantastic. Jennifer Jill Raisman, I have panic attacks, self-talk helps me. Self-talk is really good, and that's what we're talking about here as well. It's all about your self-talk, because panic attacks, if I'm being honest, I've suffered one panic attack in my life and it wasn't nice at all, and it lasted for about 3 or 4 hours, and it's just horrible, horrible experience. And people who suffer panic attacks all the time, it must be horrendous. But self-talk is a lot to do with it. And when you're self-talking, you're focusing on different things. You're not just focusing on the kind of bad things that are making this panic attack happen for you. So self-talk really is an important thing. We love your words, Jules. Thanks for that. All right, they love your Scottish accent, Gail McLeod. You're Scottish as well, I take it, Gail, yeah. Anne Nixon, hi, I'm really trying to keep positive. Anne Nixon says, hi, I'm really trying to keep positive. The way to keep positive is to feed your mind positive things every day. And as I said, it's not about focusing or not about filtering out the negative stuff in life, because we know bad things happen. We know there's bad things going on in the world. We know there's bad things going on in your life. But if that's all we tend to focus on, then it's going to get worse. We're going to feel worse. We're going to feel crappy throughout the day. We're going to feel shitty if we always think about the negative stuff in our life. But if you feed your mind positive information, then that's when things start to change. Because your thoughts are like kind of branches of a tree. So if you've got a negative thought here, and this is the main kind of stem of the tree, or the branch itself, then there's going to be another negative thought comes off there, that branch, then there's going to be another negative thought comes off that branch, then another negative thought, and pretty soon your whole brain is filled with negative thoughts. So the same, conversely, if you do the same with positive thoughts, you've got a positive branch there, and then another wee branch comes up there to give another positive thought, and that feeds another positive thought, and that feeds another positive thought, and pretty soon your whole mind is just a positive ball of energy. You know the bad stuff still happens, but you focus on the good stuff. You know the bad things go on in the world, but you focus on the good stuff. Always come back to the positive stuff. And it's not about being unrealistic. It's not about that. It's unrealistic to think the world and your life is really, really bad. It's unrealistic to think that if that's all you focus on. Just like it's unrealistic to think the world is full of beautiful people and they're all fantastically amazing. We know there's bad people in the world. We know there's bad people in our lives. We know there's arseholes in our life, just kind of everywhere. There's idiots everywhere. And so, but we don't focus on them. We let it go. And that's the big thing as well, just letting it go. Having the belief enough in yourself to let the people in your life who are negative go. Dropping people in your life, I've mentioned this in the past as well, dropping negative people in your life. It can be really difficult, especially if they're family. But you make minimal contact with the negative people in your life, and you have to go out your way to find a positive group of people. And that might be if you join a night class, or if you join a class of some kind to help you stay with a bunch of positive people, or a group online, or a Facebook group. It's better in person, obviously. You get that more of that energy, but you can still get the energy in a Facebook group as well. The energy can be fantastic depending on what Facebook group you join, or any type of group. But if you try and align yourself with people who are more positive thinking and drop the negative people, I'm not saying drop them all together. And when I say drop the negative people in your life, I'm talking about the people who are perpetually negative, the ones that seem to thrive on negativity, and they just thrive on bad news, and they just thrive on gossip, and stuff like that. Drop those people in your life. You don't need them. Who needs people like that? So just drop those people in your life. If it's family, minimal contact. That's what I would say with that. So look for more positive people in your life. People that are going to drive you forward. People that are going to help you reach your goals in life. Okay, another couple of questions if I've got them. Elena, I'll be on the positive side always, definitely. Kassar, okay, my brother, you're good. Thanks for that. Is it Kassar? I don't know if I pronounced that right. Darlene, I like your quotes. Just bite my eyes, find myself. This is Sharon Booth. I have a home food heating course for my amazing son. So Sharon Booth is saying there, despite her illness, she's still focusing on the good. Her son, she's got home, she's got food. And that's just an amazing way to think about life as well. I told you yesterday I seen the guy called Sean Stevenson. And you know he's in a wheelchair and he's got multiple kind of disabilities and that, but he doesn't let that stop him. And we've got so much more than Sean has. And he's gone on to conquer the world, and he's got a message in life that he's given out, and he's just amazing. So if you haven't seen him, Sean Stevenson, I spoke about him yesterday, and you've got so much ability to affect other people's life. You've got so much ability that you don't believe that you have. You just need to open your mind up to look at the good things that are happening in your life, and focusing on your strengths in life rather than focusing on the bad things that you can do. So just another minute to go. We've been on 36 minutes. Tessa, great inspiring talk. Thanks for that. Manic, I love you guys. Thanks for that. It's buffering just now. Yeah, it depends on what you've got on your phone. If you've had other things open on your phone or on your computer, it might start to buffer. I love your view on how you stay positive. Thanks for that, Tiffany. Maria Khan, you're doing good things for people. Stay with that. Thank you very much. First time I've seen or heard you speak. Love it. Marcia Gold Spangler, thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to go just now. This is the first video of a series of videos called 30 Days to Change. And remember as well, just one thing before I go, I've got a product coming out. It's all about kind of changing your beliefs. I've got a product out just now. It's on the early bird special, and it's called Positive Life Affirmations. It's all about affirmations and how they can change your beliefs as well. And you can see a quick video of me at positivelifeaffirmations.net. So if you want to check out the video, I'm not saying kind of rush out and buy the product, but there's only 4 days left to get the early bird special. There's $100 off. So that's because a lot of people are asking about that. What product have I got out? So thanks for asking. And that's a product, positivelifeaffirmations.net. Just check that out. It'll be fantastic. Okay, I'm going to head just now. But if you like these, subscribe to these videos. If you want to get the 30 Days of Change videos, I'll be doing one every day or every 2 days for you, and see how it goes. And until next time, take care.